Look at us. We're so cute.
So
So this mod that I have in right now, it's the only mod that I have running right now. I took off all of the other ones. Not that I have a lot, but we just got this on the computer, and so we were like, let's mod it up. And in our search for mods, we found a DID trait mod, and like, what is DID? DID is Dissociative Identity Disorder, and an earlier version of it was called Multiple Personality Disorder in the DSM, but then they changed it in one of the DSMs, like DSM-4, I think. They changed it to Dissociative Identity Disorder and added like a bunch more criteria, so... Which is interesting because people who had multiple personality disorder who no longer meet all of the criteria for DID does not mean that they do not have multiple people. It just means the psychiatric field doesn't really care about them because they don't see them as being in distress or disordered, and so it's not really like their problem. Like, I don't know. So there are multiples or plurals who do not have DID, and then there are multiples and plurals who do. And we are multiples who do have DID. Now, the first thing that we noticed is if the sim is in the fine mood, then it says whatever their name is fronting, which is weird for us because we're Emengard, but that's like a collective name for us. So it's like if we were in Europe and everyone around us just called us the American. They just called us our nation name as like a nickname. That's kind of what it's like for us to be called Emengard. It is possible to have a system that doesn't really have a host, and we are like that. We just don't have a host, which is a little bit annoying, I think, for singletons to make sense of us, because they're like, but which one's the real one? And we're like, that's a concept that doesn't really make sense to us. Like, the idea that one of us is realer than the other ones of us is just like, that doesn't make any sense. It's just how we are. We are all M. And when we are not here, we are in our inner world, which is kind of cool because the mod actually does talk about the inner world. So addition to the inner world means something was added to the inner world, and like the person who is fronting is aware of it and happy about it. So that's cool. And then a positive trigger. That's cool that they're putting that in. I feel like that's really more of a DID thing where it's like there can be positive triggers where something that you like or that's a good thing can happen, and it can cause a certain headmate to be in the front. For example, we have a lot of littles who are system kids who really like Adventure Time, and so it's very likely that if we put on an episode of Adventure Time, one of the kids will be positively triggered to the front. And so here it's kind of nice because like the positive trigger is a heart, and I don't know if the positive trigger icon is always going to be the same, but it does make me think that the positive trigger here is fish, and that like the person in front is just like, I love my husband, which is cute. So I do like that. I like the inclusion of positive triggers. It's nice to see the inner world thing. But yeah, we're just going to play around with this mod and see if we like it. So far I do like it. It's pretty cool. I wonder if there's other interactions she can do. Nope. Oh, you know what would be fun? Let's see if toys... Go to build mode and buy a toy. And then we can see if like a toy will like trigger out a small. Oh my god, you're so slow. Could you walk faster? Okay, the reason that I'm interested in this tree is because I heard that you have to like talk to the tree in order to like open up a door to get to like a secret hidden neighborhood. And I never knew there was a secret hidden neighborhood, but now I really want to get there. Also, I heard if you have spa day, you can get to the secret hidden neighborhood by meditating after you've gone there once. So I'm like, we just need to get to the secret hidden neighborhood one time, and then we'll always be able to get back there via the meditation, which would be cool and almost like a DID thing, because like, yeah, then if you're meditating, you can like go to the inner world, except we'd actually just be going to a different neighborhood, and I thought that could be fun. Anyway, addition to the world, and look at this, trying to front. Someone else is trying to front right now, but you want to stay fronting yourself. That can totally happen. I mean, it could also result in like co-consciousness, but meh. If someone really wants to front and somebody else is like, no, I'm busy, don't bother me, then it can lead to like headaches, like actual literal headaches. It is not so much fun. Also, sometimes what happens is like sometimes you really don't want to be like fronting anymore, and you're just like, oh my god, please somebody else take over, but nobody wants to take over, so then you're just kind of stuck. We call that front stuck. Being front stuck stinks. Oh, she can water it now. Go water that. Yeah, you need to be friends with that tree. Oh, yes, baby. That's right. Just keep watering it. You're building up a relationship with this beautiful tree. Oh, that's cool. Somebody else was trying to front. It led to like blending, which I think is actually like that progression of like, I'm mean, I'm great. And then somebody else is like, but I want to be fronting too and enjoying the world. And then that leads to like someone trying to front, which eventually leads to like blending. And blending does stink. Because it's like, yeah. There's also a difference between blending and being co-conscious. If you're co-conscious, then like it's like two of you or more of you like sitting in your head just like, I don't know. Like one person's usually driving and one's talking shit most of the time, which is fine and usually really funny. Oh, conscious. From more than one alter conscious right now. Yeah. I mean, oh, it is. Wait. No, that just says conscious. It doesn't say co-conscious. Why are they not calling it co-conscious? Whatever. Also, sometimes co-conscious is super fun. I would say co-conscious is super fun and blending is super crap. Because when you're all blendy, you're like, I don't know. I mean, blending is kind of like being dissociated. It stinks. Like, you're just not really sure who you are, and like, blah, blah, blah. It stinks. Ooh, compliment the leaves. Wait, no, go back. I was just kidding. Don't do that. You should totally discuss nature somewhere. Oh, and now you should definitely explore. This is way easier than I thought it was going to be. This is like immediately rewarding. Gosh. Secret doorway. That's right. I mean, I guess sometimes it is uncomfortable being a non-human alter. You're like, that's an option? Yeah, it's totally an option. In the same way that being like the non, like, being the opposite gender of like what the body is also uncomfortable. It's like we're AFAB, and when our men folk front, it is not always awesome for them. Like they dress as they please, and like we identify as non-binary, but like yeah, our body is a tiny female thing. It's like 5 foot tall. Also, we have long hair right now. Sometimes we cut it, and then we look more like a 12-year-old boy. You know, you make compromises in your life. You do. You just have to. I mean, it kind of makes sense that there's like joking and the non-human, whatever, because. Oh, a child Arthur is fronting. This is what I wanted to know. Oh, dang it. I can't play with Blarfy even though a child alter is fronting. I feel like I should definitely get more interactions. Like, temporarily being able to play with toys, like kids' toys, should totally be a thing. Ah! Oh, what do we got? Friendly jabs. Someone is conscious and teasing you, and it's all joking. Child alters fronting. What else? Influencing. Another alter is influencing right now. Yeah, that's like a thing you can do where it's like if there's more than one of you sort of around in the front, maybe one person is doing the talking and then the other people are like kind of telling them what to say. That's pretty common, especially if we don't want to like switch around voices. I don't know. We do that a lot. So it's like one person starts talking and you don't want to like completely sound like a weirdo in front of other people. So, yes, that's kind of related to the fact that it is mostly a thing that is masked for most of people's lives, that they're like hiding it from everyone else and etc. I'm liking this one so far. Oh, interesting. Chatter. And somebody else trying to front. True. If there's too much of you at once, it can like start out fun and then it can just be like, there's too many people. It's getting ridiculous in here. Somebody needs to sleep. Oh. Oh. Oh, there's co-fronting. Look at that. Another alter is co-fronting right now. See? And they're happy and inspired. It's great. Oh, and a fictive fronting. An alter based on a fictional character is fronting right now. Sometimes they are from like a show that you watched a lot, or sometimes they're like a character that you made up and then they just like became real. The most famous fictive of all was Spock in Leonard Nimoy's head. He just spent so much time playing Spock that he ended up just like with Spock in his head, and he chatted with him sometimes. And that's a good example of someone who is plural, or on the plural spectrum, but does not have DID. Like Leonard Nimoy talks about it in his autobiography. I don't remember which one, but he talks about it in like the forward. He's like, oh, by the way, I talk to myself. I talk to myself a lot. And the voice that I'm usually talking to is actually a really familiar one. It's Spock. And I'm like, that's pretty chill. That's pretty chill, Leonard Nimoy. I wonder if there's like any special interactions. It does not look like there are special interactions. I mean, not really. Ooh, there are special blah blah blahs. Answer questions about DID. Complain about your inner world. Why would we complain? Complain about alters? Why would we do that? Commend other alters. Yeah, we would do that. Commend the other alters. Talk about your system. Oh, that was cute. I guess you could answer questions about DID, because why not? It is kind of funny that that's one of the interactions, because that is totally what you spend a lot of your time doing. You're like, yes, let me tell you all these things. Confess entire system's romantic interests. I don't know what that means. Are we confessing like individual people's interests? Like, just so you know, Jax totally has a crush on you, Fish. Like, what is I don't understand it, but let's try it. Fish, you need to pay attention. Your wives and husbands are talking to you. Your spouses are talking to you. We need to confess to you. Jack's totally into you, as is Miles. It's just, oh my god. He's like, thanks. I know, I am a hottie. I am such a catch. And we're like, you totally are. Like, you're such a hottie. And also, we should probably make out. It's totally true. You're such a hottie, and I love you. Oh my god. So cute. Alright, well that pretty much wraps it up for our reaction portion. Overall, we would say that the Dissociative Identity Disorder Trait Mod by Dirk Was Always Here is pretty class. It adds more interactions and unique moodlets than most of the traits we get from EA, and this is the first mod that this modder has ever done, which is dang impressive. Dirk Was Always Here actually made this mod because their partner has DID, which is really cool. And as folks with DID, we really liked the mod, and we have kept it in our game. Which means every now and again we bump into a townie who has DID, which is like really nice in a weird way. Like, I don't know, it's like a weird thing that happens now, and we're like, oh, this townie has DID. And I don't know, it's just nice. The only thing we would like to see is child alters being able to play with toys, but that is such a minor thing, and we have no idea about how to code anything or how to mod anything, so we don't know how hard or easy that would be to do. I think overall we see a lot of potential for a much larger mod around this topic, maybe with more interactions opening up or closing down based on who's fronting, or maybe even a skill that you could level up, like for system communication or something like that. But yeah, overall, I would say for a small trait mod, this is a really excellent one. And if you have DID and want to be able to see yourself in the game, or if you're a singlet and just want to educate yourself and familiarize yourself a little bit, this is a great mod. We haven't really talked about our plurality before on the channel. That's just because it isn't really related to the sort of videos that we make here. But it is sort of funny because the only reason that this channel even exists is because we promised our system kids that if the gallery came to console, we would let them make a YouTube channel to show off their builds. We really honestly didn't think that the gallery was ever going to come to the console, but then it did, and here we are. Anyway, I hope you found this video informative and entertaining, and if you are curious to know more about our plurality, let us know in the comments. If people express enough interest, we might do a video on it in the future. Anyway, take care, stay safe, and have a wonderful day.